Hi, and welcome to Spectrum World TV. You know, there is a question that all of us eventually have to deal with. Sooner or later. Now, we don't necessarily say it out loud, but it's in the back of our heads. It's there. What's going to happen to our kids after we're gone? Now, this is what I'd like to talk about today. Not necessarily in some dramatic way or trying to fearmonger or anything like that. Just to talk sincerely and honestly about something that all aging parents who take care of their adult children with autism or other intellectual disabilities have to deal with, right? It's inevitable sooner or later. Now, the question kind of shows up quietly, you know. Maybe you get sick, you have the flu, and no one else is around. So you still have to drag yourself out of bed, even though you feel horrible, and take care of your child. It happens all the time, right? Maybe it's a milestone birthday. Maybe you turn 50, maybe you turn 60, 65, and you just realize that, wait a minute, I'm older. What's going to happen? Maybe it's being on wait lists. You think I'm crazy, but my son Charles, I got him on a wait list for a great adult day program that I was trying to get him into. He was, I believe, position 13 when I got him on the wait list. And after 3 years, he only moved up 3 spaces. So at that point, we were looking at another decade before he got into the program. Oh, Lord. But the awareness of it, some things go take so long, and you're just realizing that, wait a minute, time's clicking by, and eventually I'm not here anymore. Maybe it's an awareness of just your health starting to fail. I remember my son had a meltdown and basically flailing around, and he hit me in the shoulder and got a stabbing pain, and I thought it was just pulled a muscle or something, and the pain never went away. It just kept me up at nights and things like that. So I eventually decided to go see a doctor about it. Turns out I have arthritis in that shoulder. Certainly my son didn't cause it. That's just old age. One more thing to realize that, I'm getting older and my body's running down. There could be a number of other reasons why we are aware of this question. Now, we're not in a panic necessarily, but it's like a snowball rolling downhill. It's getting bigger, and it's building momentum. It's going to get here sooner or later. Now, dealing with this it's not morbid. We're just being responsible adults, which is one of the things we have to do as caregivers. Okay? I think probably the most important thing for us to realize, though, is if we don't make plans, then the system is going to make the decisions for us. Okay? Now you're talking emergency placement, temporary housing possibly, choices that are made under not the best of circumstances, let's say, and would likely not necessarily be the best for your child, right? So That's not best. Okay. Planning. Now, planning isn't going to eliminate all uncertainty. Okay. But with planning, it does reduce chaos, and it does reduce unnecessary stress. Notice I said unnecessary stress. We still have stress. We know that's going to happen. That's part of the job description. But if we can reduce the stress, unnecessary stress, that's a good thing, right? Okay, so what actually happens after we're gone? Well, who knows? Possible pathways. Maybe there's sibling guardianship. Maybe your son, your daughter has a sibling who's already stepped up and said they'll be willing to take over once you're gone. Now, this particular topic, I think, is going to be explored in depth significantly. I think a 3-hour discussion on that one topic would be beneficial to a lot of people. As much as caregivers like myself and you are not on many people's radar, the siblings of IDD adults aren't on the radar either. And they have significant trauma in their lives that often go unaddressed. So I think that's a big one. But in some cases, kudos to the parents who've done a great job of preparing their children to step up and know it's the thing that they're going to do. Okay. Maybe there's extended family. Okay. Aunts, uncles. Okay. Will agree to take on that guardianship role. May agree to take them in. Okay. Of course, there's group homes and of course supported living. Supported living, if they have that capacity, that could possibly work. And there's state-appointed guardianship, which probably is the least desirable. So the future, it doesn't have to be a disaster. But if you don't make plans, then the system's just going to do the default reactions to whatever they're expected to do. And that's probably not going to be the best for your child. So what I'd like is to start thinking about is structure. The more structure you put in place now, the more influence you will have after you're gone. Okay? You are the ones, you and your spouse, right, are the ones to establish the structure that will benefit your child after you're gone. That's important. Now this is hard, I think, because, what happens with our child after we're gone? Who's going to love them? Where are they going to live? These questions, this fear. It's just because we love them, right? We're afraid that someone won't take care of them as well as we do. And so it's just scary as hell. Okay? Right? The thing is, being afraid, it's fear, it's not weakness. Again, it's love. It's what they need. Now, an idea. Instead of thinking about what happens after I die, think it this way. What structures can I build now so that the transition for my child is the best possible transition? There's going to be stress, obviously. But what structures can you put in place now that will give your child the best possible future. Okay. Now, there's three big areas that we have to address, and this will be for multiple discussions in the future. But you got legal, all right? Guardianship, easy for you to say, guardianship. Trust, right? Directives, okay? Then there's financial, okay? Does your child have an ABLE account? Do they have a special needs trust? Do they have insurance? Do they have a savings account? Or, and all that money issues. And there's, of course, housing. And they're exploring all the possibilities, including where, what type of housing and where. And learning not to necessarily close down options, but to keep yourself as open as wide as possible. Okay, because housing is a place where we can be super creative. And those would be some wonderful conversations in the future, I think. Now, I don't have the answers, honestly. My child is in a group home. By the grace of God, he's in a good group home. People that love him, and he's getting along with his peers. But I am not foolish enough to believe that that's going to be perfect forever, right? Staff change. People move out, people move in. So the dynamic works now. Will it work a year from now, 5 years from now? I don't know. So I have to have, just because he's in the successful placement doesn't mean it's going to be successful forever. And it doesn't mean I don't have the same amount of fear as anybody else, okay? Because I do. What happens after I'm gone? So another question becomes, all right, what structures can I put in place now so that when I am gone, the system will kick in because I've set it up that way, okay? So, now, I know this isn't an easy topic, but I do think it's very important that we talk about it. Now, my question for you is, what are your thoughts? Okay. I would love to know them. I would love for you to write in the comments. Share, when was the first time you really thought about this question of what happens to your child after you're gone? When did it hit you? Okay. How far down the path are you? Are you confident that you've already set up a pretty good plan? If you have, I'd love to hear it. I'd love for you to share it, right? Volunteer and I'll interview you. I think that would be great. Anybody who's gone down this path farther than I have, I would love to know, because I'm on this journey just like all of you. Okay. So anyway, I think what I would just say is, if what I'm saying resonates with you, I would really like for you to subscribe to this channel. Also, I have a monthly newsletter that I'm starting. There's a link in the show notes, the description. You can follow and sign up there. That would be wonderful as well. Okay. I think that's it for today. And big issues, important things that we need to discuss. So subscribe, and then let's continue the conversation. Thank you. Don't forget, I see you. Good night.